First, let me tell you real quick about Schwenk Grills. Oliver Schwenk, CEO of Schwenk Grills, tells the story of how it all began in 1938 with his grandfather, Gunther Schwenk, who invented gas infrared technology, which revolutionized the heating and barbecue grill industries. He patented his idea and decided to start his own company, Schwenk Incorporated, to produce the most efficient heaters in the world for industrial and outdoor patio applications. 32 years later, the idea of an infrared grill was born. Oliver's father, Bernd Schwenk, experimented grilling steaks under infrared burners, and the results were incredible. Due to the extreme infrared heat, the steaks tasted incredibly juicy. After a few concepts, Bernd engineered and constructed an overhead infrared grill concept. 10 years after that, his invention changed the world of steak restaurants. America's most famous steakhouses, including Peter Luger in Brooklyn, Cut in Beverly Hills, and Gibson's in Chicago, are only a few who use their infrared technology today in their commercial overhead infrared broilers. Now you can grill a steak with the same technology used by the world's best steakhouses in any outdoor setting. Schwenk grills are proudly made in the USA, right near Augusta, Georgia. Their grills are assembled and hand-constructed with high-grade stainless steel materials and infrared burners used only in the best steakhouses in the world, and now in your own home. I love my Schwenk grill. It's the first time I've enjoyed cooking on a grill in my life, and it's super easy to clean. So when it comes to grilling, to me, nothing beats the Schwenk. And right now, Schwenk is offering an amazing Black Friday special that has already started and goes on through December 2nd. You can get $250 off just the Schwenk grill, or you can get $350 off a Schwenk grill and a modern grill table, or you can get $508 off a Schwenk grill and a large modern grill table and grill cover. No promo code is needed. All you have to do is click the link in the description of this video. Now back to the video.
There you go.
All right, will you guys stop fighting back there? Fizzgig.
Scissors. Come here, Sam. Come here, Sam.
So it's nice to have you here. I don't know if this will be in the way. I guess it would be in the way. We'll just have to put it up here where it can hopefully hear us both good. How's that?
Okay.
So I know some of you have met my wife Katie before, but
hello.
just in case you haven't, this is my wife Katie.
Where am I looking?
Oh, right here.
Okay.
And she went with me to the Dolphins game this last weekend. Now, you can tell she's not a diehard Dolphins fan for some reason, but I guess I can understand with Detroit doing so doggone well. You got to show your colors.
Miami is my adoptive team because Dante loves them so much. And, of course, I will always root for them when we go to the games. Absolutely.
So what an amazing weekend.
Yeah, it was. It was fun.
I mean, it went from we had no plans on Saturday to next thing I know, guys letting me know I got 4 free tickets to the game if I want them. I'm down here in Deerfield Beach, Florida today. This is where I grew up. I was lucky enough to get a call from somebody this weekend, a friend of mine who had some tickets to the Dolphins-Raiders game, 4 tickets that he couldn't use. And I haven't taken my kids to see much of anything this year. So I told my wife, I said, tell Levi to get his best friend, we're going to go see a football game this weekend. So it's been nice to just get away. It was a surprise experience. I didn't think I was going to have a chance to do this. It was spur of the moment. The Lord blessed us with the opportunity, and I'm just glad to be here. And then we're like, all right, we're going. Yeah. We know where we can stay. We know we got everything. We just got to get everybody in the car and go. Mm-hmm. And it was a blessing. And it's one of those things that I've talked about with you before about how it used to be before I lost all the weight when we would want to do adventures like this.
Yes.
It was a bit of a challenge, wasn't it?
It was a challenge for you. You gotta find my words.
It's okay. It was a challenge for me.
It was a challenge for you because you would get frustrated with yourself. I remember we took a trip to Texas. And we were driving, of course. And you just sitting in the car, you'd get chafed, and then we get out and you complain about your legs. And then when we get to like a hotel or get there, be on fire on your legs, on your inner thighs, and I'd feel so bad. But
you're not embarrassing me, by the way. You know what you're doing?
I feel bad talking about it.
No, please don't. It helps me because I've been doing so good for so long. Mm-hmm. I have a tendency to let go of those things that I don't want to remember. It's like I've shoved that stuff down a long time ago, and maybe that's a bad psychological response, but I know that's like I don't think about those negative things. I don't remember it being exactly like that, but I remember all the complaining. I mean, it was just like so ubiquitous that it's all mixed together for me, but
yes.
You got to see it from your perspective, so.
Yeah, well, I had empathy, but I didn't know how to fix it or make you feel better about it because you're in pain, and I can't just be like, don't be in pain, obviously.
Yeah. And you had a lot of faith in the medical system to be able to help us too, right?
No. No, but I think it's hard for me to find my words sometimes. I think it's frustrating when you're with someone is sick in a way that isn't, they're on their deathbed sick, but they're ill health physically, and it's coming out in ways like, psoriasis or gut issues.
Remember, I used to have dandruff too. You mentioned the skin one. I used to have it all the time.
Skin was falling off, peeling like you're a lizard person. It would just flake off. Your feet were in constant pain when we would walk far. Yeah, and the chafing, I just remember being really bad on you, like really painful, and then you get upset because then the next day we'd want to go do something, and you were in so much pain you couldn't enjoy it or have fun or love it.
Especially if you wanted to go hiking or something like that.
Yeah, because I used to love. Well, we did though. You still went. We went through Tennessee and
yeah.
In Texas we went a couple places. So you would push through it, but I would have to hear about it.
Yeah, I know.
So it was
yeah, I'd forgotten what it was like to be quite like that. I mean, I remember the first time I realized that my legs weren't touching together when I was standing up. I thought,
yeah, I remember that.
This is what a normal person feels like.
Yes.
When they stand up. And I thought, I never in my life can remember feeling that way. Now, probably when I was 4, I remember pictures from being really young. I wasn't always that bad, but I'm sure most of my life I've just felt like they rubbed together, and that's been uncomfortable. It's been uncomfortable to do much of anything, unless it was water sports. At least water sports, I was buoyant. If I was in the water, I felt better because I was able to float and didn't feel my own weight. Probably helped. Growing up in Florida probably helped some of that with love for water sports too, though. But when it came to anything that involved exerting a lot of energy, I wasn't going to be in it long.
I definitely couldn't imagine you doing an 11-minute plank.
Hey, they're doing a plank contest in a minute for a helmet.
I can't do planks, but he can. I'm not really.
All right, Levi, you can do planks with me, right?
Yeah. Or I'll do planks with you.
All right, we're all going to do the plank contest for a chance to win a signed mini helmet by Jalen Waddle.
If it was push-ups, I'd win.
You hear that? He'd win. He'd win the push-up contest. Well, you didn't get to see it because my wife was in another line, but we did a plank contest for a chance to win a mini football helmet signed by Jalen Waddle. And I haven't done planks in forever. And they said the last time somebody did planks here, they got 6 minutes was the record the last time. Wasn't the last time they said it 6 minutes? The boys did it. How long did you stay in? 3 minutes. Levi got 3 minutes.
I got 2:30.
How many? 2:30. And what did I get? 11?
Yeah.
They said 11 and a half, I think. But I came in second to this really well-built guy that had a much shorter body than me. I don't know how I stood it. I could barely walk when I was done, but hey, second place. I'm happy. Yeah, my whole body was shaking.
Your whole body was shaking. You're fighting.
I was fighting demons. I was, man. I was focused on, I said, I'm going to hold out just a little longer. Man, but he didn't look like he was going to give. When I looked up, I said, man, that shot me. Never look up, just keep going. Doggone it. Well, I'm proud of my victory. Getting second place was a victory. There was like, 30, 40 people? That was fun. I wish I had that recorded. Oh, well. Tell me about that. See, I didn't even know. When I started to do this plank, I think the last time I did a plank was at your Taekwondo class. Mm-hmm. And it was only one time. And I think we did it for a minute. It was like what they asked you to do? Or
No, women have a minimum of 2. We have to do, 2 minutes and like 40, 50 seconds. That's our minimum. And then men have to do at least 1 minute above that.
Okay. 1 minute above that.
So that's what you're shooting for. That's your lowest tier. You are pushed to go beyond that, but that's your requirement.
And then after we got back from the game, I looked up online. I found this thing that I'll show on the screen here that basically said that it broke it down with 1 minute being somebody with low energy or higher in age, and it breaks it down by age and how long you should be able to go. And the elite status was 6 minutes.
Yeah.
4 to 6 minutes. And I thought, well, if elite status is 4 to 6 minutes, what's 11 and a half minutes? I didn't have any idea I could even do a plank like that. And if you'd asked me to do a plank like that 4 years ago, I mean, it wouldn't have lasted for probably 30 seconds.
You probably would have walked off and said, well, can't do that.
Yeah.
But you were pushing yourself, and I think that shows a testament to what you're able to do.
Yeah. And, I think some of the change came from what carnivore diet has been allowing me to do is to be more disciplined in other areas. And one of those areas is self-control, control over my mental processes. And I remember thinking when they were offering the contest, I thought, I'm not going to do this. There's some pretty athletic guys out here.
I said, you're going to go do it. I said, go do it.
And then I said, I need to go do it. I need to give it a try and just see what would happen.
And of course, he was bummed out he didn't win. But I was smiling because I was like, you did win.
I did.
You did win. That's the little triumph that you get. That's your medal. That's your reward, knowing that you can and are able to push yourself to do stuff like that.
Yeah. I guess the other guy really wanted that helmet a lot more than I did.
So.
It wasn't about the helmet anyway. I would have been, the mini helmet doesn't mean anything to me. I wanted to be
but that's it. Here's a reward.
Yeah.
It's not food though.
It's true. It's a bonus.
It's a reward for you to push yourself beyond what you can do. And you get something for being able to do that, That is special, but you came in second. There's nothing for second place. That sucks.
But here's the thing.
You got the reward of now knowing, oh crap, I am able to do this.
When I heard them say that the last time they did this, that she was like, the last one took 6 whole minutes. Like that was a big deal. So I thought, boy, I hope I can make it 6 minutes. That would be amazing. And somewhere between, when I heard her say 7 minutes, I thought of giving in because I was like, I've already passed what I had hoped for. Mm-hmm. But then I looked up and I saw there were a few people still up. So I said, well,
push you further.
Guess I'm going to keep going.
Yeah.
And I went into this zone in my head, and I remember it felt like I was looking at the grass on the ground in front of me. It felt like the grass was starting to move like a kaleidoscope. Yeah. That's how like I was just zoning out on the pain and the shaking that was going on, and just said, nope, I'm just going to stay here. And then sometimes I would rock back a little bit onto my feet and I would rock back a little bit onto my elbow, but I didn't let my body ever get bent down or bent up. Either way, I was able to keep that 90-degree angle, and it was just amazing. Yeah. So
when I walked up,
it was a big victory.
You were down there holding it, but you were starting to shake so hard. And I was like, oh, no, hold it. And then I watched 1, 2, 3 people drop. And then I saw it was you and that guy left. And I was like, hold it. I should have busted out my phone. But literally you dropped right after that.
Yeah, I know you
So,
got there right at the last second. So
I-
that's why no footage for that. But
I don't get to win the
it was still exciting.
backup
I mean,
award.
it's exciting every time I realize what I'm capable of now that I wasn't capable of before. Simple things like being able to stand up in my room and lift up one leg to my hands and put my sock on without falling over or losing balance is a huge deal to me. And now I'm looking at things like the time I climbed that rope without using my hands, or without using my feet, rather. That would have been something if I
The
had done it
rock
without
wall.
my hands. Climbing the rock wall
That
at the
was a
one
big
place.
one.
These are things that I would not have been able to do 4 years ago, and probably 10 years before that, thanks to Lion Diet. I mean, Lion Diet has changed everything, and I'm enjoying life in a way now that I couldn't before. Even going to the game and going to all these things, there were events that were fun, and it was nice to be with family. But when you're in pain the whole time and you can't enjoy any of the activity,
Yeah.
I mean, and it's a bummer. And I know it was a bummer for you because you're like, you just want to have fun, and you're like, gosh, I feel like you don't. I'm not going to say you felt like, but I mean, it was like dragging this guy around. That's just, he doesn't want to go anywhere. He doesn't want to do it.
Well, you should just be thankful you married someone with a lot of empathy.
And patience. Thank you, God, for this beautiful woman's patience. I love my wife.
Empathy for you, because I didn't understand. I didn't. So, but now I do. Now I gotta do it 100%. I gotta try. Can't make it past 3 days.
So what are you saying? Oh, you talking about doing carnivore?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, you've been making changes in your life too. I think.
Yeah.
I
Definitely
don't,
high protein.
I don't want to say that it's all my influence, but I'm sure having me around dedicated to always trying to be healthier has encouraged you. Maybe when you took that step to jump into karate, you're like, yeah, I need to do this.
Well, remember I signed up on my 40th birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And how do I put this? I realized I'm 40. And so do I want to get better as I get older? Or do I want to physically and mentally decline as I get older? That's how I saw it, because
That's what happens when we get older.
I've been around enough retirement age people and elderly people to know that those who continually found something to do. Piano. Mr. Ralph played piano until he was like 96. How old was he when he passed? 97?
He was in his 90s.
But he'd do it every day. He'd get up and he'd go play a little bit, and his mind was sharp. Mr. Burrell, he got up and walked every day. It was something little, but he was 97. They found something to do each day. Like, they had their thing.
How about Miss Brantley? She made it to 100.
Yeah, Miss Sue Brantley made it to 100, yep. It was just that when I turned 40, I decided I need to do something to push myself. Because if not, I'm going to decline, or I'm going to get better with age.
Mm-hmm.
So I picked up the Taekwondo, and I absolutely love it. It's a lot of fun. And we recently just got started competing, and that has pushed me way beyond what I thought I was able to do. It's a lot of fun, and it is
Just being
helping
in
me.
front of people was a big step for you.
Having this conversation right now, I'm shaking a little bit because I know people are going to watch it, and that like anxiety for me off the roof. So, but I love in Taekwondo learning to control my body, my feet, my hands, the structure.
Flexibility you're getting, the strength you're getting from it.
Yes. And so I did try carnivore, obviously. I eat a lot that way just because you are, and we eat meals together. So I'll just eat with him hamburger or steak or beef. We'll eat together. But I have one fatal flaw. I have kryptonite. and it comes in the form of chocolate ice cream. I can't shake it. I get to day 3 and I can eat carnivore perfect for 3 days straight, and then on that late 3rd day or 4th day, I crave that chocolate ice cream.
Well, you're overcoming a lot of things that you haven't overcome in the past already. I wouldn't beat yourself up too much about that. And I think there's a lot of people out there who struggle with the same thing, especially when it comes to starting a diet like this. And I'm learning that a lot of people probably should start a little slow, transition from what they were eating before. And even though I didn't do that.
Well, yours was a life or death situation. I think it's very important when you do start this diet, you view it from you.
That's right.
Not somebody else. This is a you journey. You have to start off the way you can, the way you know how, and that takes a lot of self-evaluation. Mm-hmm. A lot. And I think that's what, other than getting past the belief that, the food pyramid's, accurate and correct, and we can't go outside of that. The next hard thing is self-evaluating to know what works for you. And I also notice when I talk to people who do this diet on the outside, they say they go about 3 or 4 days and then they kind of cave in. And I ask them if they're doing intake of salt. And they're like, yeah, I do a little salt. And I have to remind them, no, you have to do a lot of salt. So that was one thing I found.
Especially if you're having energy issues or you feel like you're drained. Not
fatigued.
Everybody is going to have this, but the electrolyte loss that you get when you start a carnivore diet, because you're not having sugar in your body, your kidneys are not retaining that salt for those electrolytes anymore, so it's just kind of blowing really fast. And those electrolytes can be really important if you're flushing them all out. Some people seem to be able to not need as much. Some people don't need it all. But for the vast majority of the people I've seen, is having those electrolytes is going to be important. And I don't think you need to have a huge mix of electrolytes. You don't have to have sodium, chloride, calcium, magnesium, potassium, all of that stuff. I usually add a little bit of that when I'm doing extra workouts. Like when I was at the game, I had a little bit of Relight with me to give me a little boost of electrolytes. But typically salt was all I needed for the first year or so on this way of eating. And then eventually I added some other electrolytes. I wouldn't say I noticed a huge benefit, but I thought, well, it's not hurting me to have some extra electrolytes. So I stuck with those. But the salt was definitely the key.
Well, that comes to that part of self-evaluation. Mm-hmm. Am I fatigued? Is there a reason for this? Do I need salt intake? And I definitely believe that when you do this diet, it is about you knowing yourself before you start it and when you start it and while you're doing it, and talking to a lot of people before you do. Yeah. It's not difficult for me to eat carnivore at all. I just get kind of lazy, which is kind of nice because carnivore is kind of a lazy person's diet. All you need is water, salt, and some meat, or steak, beef, ruminant. But I eat eggs. Mm-hmm. I'll eat like 6 eggs for breakfast, easy, and then I'm good.
I like the ruminants because of the lion diet, and not everybody needs that. But a lot of times, if you've got a lot of toxins and problems in your body, especially if it relates to autoimmune disorders or gut problems, the ruminants will take you in the right direction that even a regular carnivore diet won't. But if you're just concerned about maybe getting rid of a little extra weight, being stronger, feeling a little better, a standard carnivore diet that includes other meats is absolutely fine. And that's what, Katie's been kind of trying to slip into slowly. But
like I said, I can do it in 3-4 days, but that's
all you've had today.
It's like, that's just kind of like what gets me. And it, Marilyn Monroe's diet, she used to eat a steak, three carrots, large, non-cooked carrots, and then she'd have a vanilla shake. I'd be great on that.
I bet.
I would be great on that.
I bet. Well, I'll stick with the steak.
But yeah, it was a very fun trip, and I think you pushed yourself, and I was excited to see it happen for you. Wow. Because I could tell after it was done, you were shocked and amazed that you were able to do it, and I think that's awesome.
Well, I'm just thankful to be able to have my wife here to share the story with you guys, because, you know, it's been difficult for her to want to be in front of the camera, but she's seen all of this as it's gone on, and she really does have a lot of insight, and I'm so thankful to have you join me today on this one so we could talk, and maybe we'll do it some more sometime. Why don't you guys let us know in the comments what you think? Do you need to hear more from Katie? Anyway, that's all we got for this one, guys. We appreciate you joining us for this little round, and we'll see you next time.
Bye. Sam, want to say bye? Come here, Sam. Want to say bye? You got to turn around. Hold on. I got it.
Okay.
I got it. Hold on. Oh.
Sam had to say bye too. Everybody knows Sam as well.
bye,
He's
Sam.
a big star of the show for a long time. He's my Ed McMahon.
Say bye, Sam.
For those of you who have no idea who Ed McMahon is.
Funny.
Bye.
All right. So
You want to get your eggs and bacon over medium, but I'm allergic to vegetable oil, so I need you to use butter instead, please. No fries, no toast either, just the meat, just the eggs and the meat, that's it. Bacon. All right. Want a piece of bacon, Levi?
Sure.
Have another piece. They gotta know I feed you meat. They'll be like, he doesn't even make sure his wife gets any.
I ate.
I know you ate.
Look at this guy
Let's go take a look. So what do? You buy this for grilling out there. Wow, that's really cool. So when you come to the stadium, you can buy the meat at the stadium and then go grill out. How about a tomahawk ribeye? For $198. Hey, it's me. What do I care? I ain't buying it though. It's too expensive. I'm glad I'm full. What I got from my efforts. Oh, sack and a fumble. Oh, it even got worse. This is a way to enjoy a football game with some beef, some, what is this, brisket. They got brisket at the football game. I love it. They got turkey also, and they got pulled pork on the other side, so you can stay on a carnivore diet even at a football game. It's pretty cool.
You need that after that 12-minute plank you did.
I sure did. This is exactly what I needed after that 12-minute plank. 11 and a half. I don't want to add to it.
It might as well have been an hour.
I was happy I made it to 6 minutes, and then I was like, that's it. I'm just going to go into a quiet place in my head. And I was there, and I was like, okay, my legs are shaking so much. I don't know how I haven't hit the ground yet. But I just stayed
You
there
were shaking so hard, but you were holding strong. There we go. Miami.
Ready for the second half of this game. Watching the Dolphins play the Raiders. Man, it is a beautiful day in South Florida. I've never been at the stadium when it was this comfortable, except on a Sunday night game. This is a 1 o'clock game. So this is just beautiful weather, beautiful day. Everything's beautiful.
If we pay extra, could we maybe get some grease or fat?
Hey, it's Dante Ferrigno. I just wanted to thank you first of all for watching this video, but I also wanted to tell you about my merch shop. I have a link in the description for a bunch of different items I've put together for you to be able to show your support for the carnivore lifestyle, and every purchase helps me to keep doing what I'm doing here on Ferrigno Freedom.